Hello everyone, I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to The Audio Analyst. When Aristomenis Georgiadis, the CEO and owner of True Life Audio of Athens, Greece, reached out to me in mid-February to say that he would be stopping by my audio room here in the Midwest at the end of the month, I was honored and just a bit excited. I had first met Aristomenis II, by the way, and his father, Vilasarios, in Munich in May of 2017. Vilasarios had founded True Life Audio in 1995, and Aris' grandfather, Aristomenis I, a transformer technician, had opened his own company in 1957 to provide high-performance transformers for telecommunications, broadcast, medical, military, and industrial implementations. If you followed the channel, you'll be aware that the TLA Supreme Series products, the $60,000 SSA-1 linestage, and the $90,000 a pair SSP-350 monoblocks landed in my system here last May. And not only have they swept me away with their noteworthy combination of grace and control, but they have become my de facto reference amplification. And while Aris and True Life Audio's CTO, Manos, took the time to update my SSA-1 linestage to the latest production version, more on that after our conversation, we also spent a couple hours just listening. Here is our chat. Welcome, everybody. Sitting beside me is a special guest here from Athens, Greece. He's been kind enough to spend a little bit of time with me, and he's going to talk about his products. So I hope you'll give him a little bit of time. This is Aristomenis Georgiadis, who has been here. We're just going to call him Aris from now on because I'm English and I screw up his name all the time. But he's been kind enough to come spend some time. We've been listening to the system, which is, as you have known from some of the other videos I've mentioned in the past, the True Life Audio gear, which I first mentioned probably over a year ago when I was at Bill Parrish's. And I've done two other episodes on the gear here. One where I talked about how this stuff has become my reference gear because it's so bloody good.
Thank you.
But so you, when I first heard the stuff at Bill's at GTT Audio in New Jersey, the Truth gear wasn't quite ready yet. So what I heard was the Supreme Series initially, which is what I've been living with. And now the Truth Series is available too. What I would hope you'd take a little bit of time to do with us today is talk us through, I was lucky enough to meet your father in 2017 before he passed away, sadly. And, he and Louis hit it off really well, Louis Desjardins from Kronos. But I was really taken with how remarkable sounding this stuff is. And it's not, the SSP-1 with the power supply is a true dual mono device, 2 power switches, 2 power cords.
Exactly.
It's very, and it's the tube front end, and then you've got these hybrid amps, which the whole idea to me is fascinating about hybrid amps because in the 70s even we were mixing a tube line stage with solid state power because you got the bloom and the body and the texture from the tubes, but the control and the extension that you got with solid state. And I'm wondering what made you guys decide to build those products?
First of all, thank you for the invitation and that you have me here.
Oh, come on.
How we came out with that, it's the idea to combine the virtues of both technologies and to taking the sound further than what the industry has come up until now.
Sure.
Yeah, so my father, that he loved the tube gears, he was his passion. He started the preamplifier, the SSP-1. We developed it further, and he had the idea to make the hybrid amplifiers, as you said, to combine the virtue of the tube and the the power and driving of the solid state amplifier.
Now, so just as a little bit of background that I skipped over, True Life Audio, he established that, what, about 95?
Yes.
Ish?
Yes.
And your grandfather had been building, you're Aristomenis
Yes.
the second.
Yes, exactly.
That was your grandfather's name.
Yes.
Now, he was building customized transformers and things for the telecommunications market and for military applications.
For
stuff.
ships, for the industry
Yeah.
in Athens, and also we were exporting in some other countries.
Okay, so now when did this project actually take root? Do you remember about when the Supreme Series began?
Around 2018,
Okay.
we started.
Okay.
It was not ready yet, and it was ready around 2021. Yeah. It was the first. My father passed away at 19.
Yeah.
At 19, it was the first prototypes. And what is the current product? It was ready at 21, 22. Yeah.
Well, I heard them in the fall of 2022 at Manos.
Yeah.
And then they came to my house May last year, and they will not be leaving anytime soon if I have anything to do with it. This stuff is just fabulous, buddy. So I'm sure that, what is it, a 6J5 is the central tube, which is basically a single version of a 6SN7.
Exactly.
There's two 5J, there's two of those
Exactly.
in a bottle. So you use those because, I mean, the tube is, it's a very good tube. It's a non-directly heated, first of all. Hey, stinker. So it's a very well thought of tube, and it's very well made for that application. Now, that's what you used in the line stage, correct?
Exactly.
And you're using, the volume control is not a potentiometer. It's a stepped control, yes?
Yeah, but now we change that to another solution that we found it to be also an improve, a step ahead.
Okay.
And it's a continuous, it's another technology.
Okay.
But it's a step ahead, as I said, from the step attenuator, which is also a great idea. Yeah.
All right, so it's a pure Class A for the line stage.
Yes.
The SSP-350s are, I think, kind of cool because you're using the same front end tube. You're using that for the front end, but you're using bipolar outputs.
Bipolar transistors.
So So many people would have used MOSFETs or whatever. You landed on bipolars.
Yes. Look, also with MOSFETs you can make a good sound, and with bipolars. But we choose that because as a musicians, we found out that it's closer to the live event. That's why, and we tried many bipolars from different brands, different kind of transistors, also different kind of tube, everything, and it's a crazy development, and that it took us a long time to.
Well, and it was done not just by measurement; it was done by ear too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think matters.
My father always saying, first we are putting on the bench to see what is measuring. But after the trip, the journey starts to make the sound. And the sound, it's far away from the measurements.
Always. I've gotten into a lot of trouble. I did an episode some time ago where I said that, measurements are a great place to start, but final arbitration has to be done by ear. And I got a lot of feedback, or a lot of pushback, and then a couple of people decided that I knew what I was talking about when I got into it. And I think it's really important that you use measurements. There's no question measurements are important. But the final decision has to be how it sounds, not just how it measures, I think. Now, do you remember in Munich last year, I pulled you aside and asked you about a specific brand of transistor?
Yeah, you drive me crazy. Yeah, that you found out exactly.
I didn't.
Which is which,
Buddy, I had to ask you that because it was a stinking suspicion I had. It sounded like a certain device I'd heard in the past, and you were kind enough to say, that's it. So I'm not going to give it away.
But you've been exact. You've been exact.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the thing that I told you today when you came in was what I loved about this gear the most is that, I support my local symphony. I go to a lot of live music, and to me, if there's no life, I'm not into hi-fi, I'm into music. And what I said to you about this gear that has made it so endearing to me is that it breathes life into the music. And not, look, there are some great amplifiers out there. Many great amplifiers.
Many.
These are among the best I've experienced. The review is almost finished, by the way, and it should be out in the next couple of weeks. I think this is a staggering accomplishment that you guys have been able to pull off. And I know also you guys did some collaboration with Louis Desjardins to do his new Phonostage, which the latest iteration of that is going to be introduced in May at Munich.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
And you were kind enough to invite me to play some music at your show.
Yes.
So if you join us in Munich, you're going to get to hear me play some records in his room. We're going to have some fun. Is there anything else you want to add about the gear or what you're doing or the future of the company? What's going on?
The future in the company, we have some designs to make in the future also. We have released the TSI-300, which is the integrated.
The integrated, I forgot that, yes.
Yeah, that we try to...
And by the way, I heard it last year at Munich with Ellie and Ofra, with their avant-gardes.
Yes.
And that room made my show report, too.
Yeah.
So it's pretty decent gear.
Yeah.
And I totally skipped the Truth series, which you've come up with.
Yeah.
It's a more affordable product.
Yes.
I assume it's the same kind of design goal, just based on what you can do for the money.
Yes, exactly. We just changed the implementation of the tubes. It's a little bit simpler tubes. And we downscale a bit everything, but not in the sound, We have... a standard that this product is giving to the market and is beating a lot, as my distributors are saying, monoblocks with a preamp, really. But also this took us 2-3 years to finish it. Yeah.
Well, I've not heard them yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But
if you go to GTT, you will hear it in Bill.
I'll be at Bill soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I just can't thank you enough for finding the time to come here and hang out. Buddy, I'm all about the music.
Yes.
And to have you here to hang out and do this, and my dog Stella fell in love with him too.
It's my pleasure, and I love, how the things are running here, the sound, and everything. How you have make your setup. It's amazing, really amazing.
Well, it's partially because of your work that it sounds that good. So,
thank you,
Aris. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much that you have me here. Really.
Come back anytime, buddy. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you. I will come again.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
Take care. My sincere thanks to both Aris and Manos for making the long trek to my Midwest audio room to not only bring my early production SSA-1 up to the current production standards, but to spend time listening to some of my favorite music and to get to play with Miss Stella, who Aris fell for. The upgrades, while easily effected and implemented, were fairly straightforward and well worth the efforts. They include, as Aris touched on briefly in our conversation, replacing the original 48-position stepped attenuator with a new Alps Gold potentiometer with its motorization and mute functionality, replacing a pair of electrolytic capacitors that are part of the heating system for the 6J5 tubes, as well as 2 foil caps that are part of the tube section itself. They installed a new backlit logo plate with an embedded IR receiver and added a 5-volt relay to toggle the Alps mute function. And these retrofits are being made to all the original production Supreme Series products already out in the wild. Now, as my full review of these world-class products is very near completion, I will only comment here that now, with some 60 hours of run-in after these changes were implemented, aside from the smoother degree and more refined performance of the volume control itself, resolution and transparency have taken a notable step forward. Look for my complete take on these exceptional machines very soon. As always, thanks for taking the time to drop by today. Further information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.